So I know that this showcase is pretty late. I was supposed to get this out around May, the same time Avengers was out, but I couldn't for obvious reasons. So I decided to end up finishing up the two figures I ended up wanting to do for Deadpool 2. So here we are with the figures, Deadpool and Cable. So these figures weren't that hard to make. In fact, they've been on my shelf for a couple months now. The problem is that I'm a little bit lazy, so please forgive me for the showcase being late. And also, don't worry as well, I also have the Ant-Man and the Wasp figures also in the works as well, so you talk about that more later. But for now, let's get into the showcase with Deadpool and Cable for their own movie, Deadpool 2. And if you're wondering, where's Colossus, where's Domino, where's Negasonic, Teenage Warhead, and where's the rest of X-Force, I'm not making them. Besides Colossus, maybe I might make him in the future and do another spin-off showcase for him. But for now, I just want to focus on these ones. And plus, these are the only two that I kind of cared about. Domino, maybe in the future as well with Colossus if I end up making him, because I do have a couple of ideas of how I would make both of them. But for now, let's focus on these two, Deadpool and Cable. So starting off with Deadpool, he was actually one of the easiest figures to make, which is kind of weird considering his suit looks a little bit more complicated than Cable's, but I'll get into that a little bit more later. So for starters, I used a regular red base which is Lego's red color, and pretty much used red parts and painted all around those. The arms were literally done in literally an hour. The legs also took around an hour, so I finished those relatively quickly. For the straps on his legs, though, I did have to sand off his legs really well, so that way they're able to bend and not remove any of the electrical tape, which are for the straps down there as well. For the side of his leg, I pretty much used 4 layers of electrical tape, and as you can see there, kind of, not really, but you still can, that there's some little pouch there. I used 4 strands of electrical tape and layered them on top of each other to make this little strap for his gun, and ended up gluing it onto there as well. You can tell that there's a little bit of shift of red color where my red paint isn't coinciding with Lego's red, because you can see a little bit of the difference. I tried to find one. Unfortunately, I ended up having to use a gloss paint, which was the closest I could get. Although I am happy with the end result anyways, because Deadpool is red on his color. Sometimes it looks a little bit weird and off, and there is some also different red, crimson red over here as well. And I ended up painting up some details for his little knee pads right here, which was gray and red. And then for his shoes, they were just pretty basic to make as well. For his mask, I ended up just getting a regular Lego red head and painting on the little black and white parts on there. And then you can barely tell in this frame, but if you look really closely in this angle maybe, that there's a dark red line going over his eyes, and that's because to show how it's sewn, because in the movie it shows how like some of the parts of his mask are sewn on together, and in the back it makes this, and it makes that little mask nipple over here that you see in the movie. That's a little bit obnoxious sometimes in the movie. And now, since I'm pointing this way, let's get a look at his weapons. The weapons weren't that hard to do. I literally just took one of Lego's sword pieces, one of the sword sheaths, and got their swords. I didn't paint them in a silver color because honestly they would just scrape off as soon as I put them in the sheath. He can take out the swords out of his sheath as well and deploy them when he's not using his guns. But overall, that's just it. They're there. But the thing is that when making this sword sheath, that I had to end up using electrical tape to, and you can kind of tell that there's a layer here that pokes out. It protrudes a little bit. What I ended up doing was just covering the holes of the sword sheath with electrical tape, so that way it wouldn't show that the swords were in there. I wanted to make it look like it was one piece. And yeah, it was brown before until I painted it a dark matte black. For his guns, I just took regular brick arms pistols and spray. They're not the same, by the way. I just took them from a seller who actually lives nearby. And I ended up spray painting these silver because in the movie they're more of a silver color. And yeah, they're not deagles. I think this one's a deagle and this one is a different gun. I just thought they would look okay and you guys really mind. You can tell they were brown before, as you can see over here. They were more brown until I ended up spray painting them silver. So yeah, there's Deadpool. Also, I painted his pouch and his little icon for his pouch. And this strap going across his torso is made of electrical tape. In fact, I made this figure, just to let you guys know, I made this figure last year, last year when the original Deadpool movie came out. The thing is, I made him pretty late, so yeah, he's here now in his own showcase. Now, Cable was a little bit more complicated to make, and that was mainly because of his entire suit and little jacket or cape that he wears around his, well, neck the entire time. So to get started on Cable, let's go obviously address the elephant in the room, his hair. I originally wanted to use one of those hairpieces that I used for Captain America in my Infinity War showcase, but decided not to do that in the end and just stick to this regular Star-Lord or Superman hairpiece, which all I did was heavily sand it. And I think you've seen this hairpiece as part of my Star-Lord figure when his helmet is not deployed. And for his short hair, I just dabbled with the Q-tip some splotches of gray paint around his head in order to make it look like he had some short hair around there. And just to take off the hairpiece so you can see kind of how I made this, yeah, I pretty much just sanded it off, and I had to sculpt in some areas as well. It was originally like this nougat color, so I sculpted around and painted it a dark gray, and then added some light gray highlight to the hair as well. His head is a regular Superman hair. It's just that this time one of the eyes is colored in gold because he is part cyborg, as also you can tell with his arm. His arm was painted completely in a gunmetal gray color before adding the strap on to show his sleeve, and the entire shirt around him is a dark brown. His hand, though, I did use is a regular glove. I didn't add a glove top because I didn't think it needed it, and I painted the little fingers on it with the gunmetal gray color as well, and I put super glue around it just like I did with my Captain America, so that way if he ever holds something on that hand, it's not going to scrape the paint off. And now to get his gun out of the way, which it's not accurate, so there's no need in showing it anyway. For his torso, all I did was use electrical tape because his little vest is actually pretty thin in the movie, so I didn't think I needed to use multiple layers of electrical tape for the actual vest piece. But for the parts that were attached to the vest, I definitely needed to make them thick. So for those little 3 pouches you see in the middle, I used maybe 2 or 3 layers of electrical tape to make it look like, I don't know what they are in the movie, but they're there, so I decided to add those as well and paint the details that I could see. I'm not gonna lie though, it is a little bit inaccurate because I didn't really see good shots of him with the vest on, so it's fine at the end of the day. Now at the top right of his shirt, you can see that these little shotgun pellets, I think they're shotguns, I don't know. I ended up painting those, and those are made out of the little bow piece from the Lego bows. All I did was cut the little like rope on it off and ended up making tiny little pieces, cutting those into 3s, and then coloring one of them black and coloring the other one in the shotgun shelling, which is like a royal gold color. I don't know what it is, but it looks really nice on there anyways. And then for the regular arm, I just used a regular flesh arm piece, and then did the same thing, only this time I added a glove top because I thought it actually needed it, considering over here it was a cybernetic arm, but over here it's an actual flesh arm, so that's why he has a glove top made out of electrical tape. Now for his side leg, you can see that there's a little pouch there. Honestly, it's not worth mentioning because it's just there. I didn't really think it needed it that much. It was there though, so I didn't know how it looked, so I just randomized the design. I think it looks okay. For the legs, I just painted out a random design, and if you can barely tell, in those shoes, I made some shoelaces there, and that was definitely not easy to do, but there they are anyway. Adds a little bit more detail to it, and I think it just charms the figure a little bit more. And some regular boot designs, and then for his belts, I just made them out of I just made the belts painted on. I didn't want to do an electrical tape belt because I didn't think it needed it. Now for his cape, and his cape is actually made out of a regular cape piece from Lego, and it's not really a cape, it's kind of like a jacket that he wears in the movie. It's around his neck. I don't know why it's like that, but whatever. So what I ended up doing was just cutting half of the cape off and then deciding to cut a little bit of the cape where it goes up and then stretching that and pulling it over here and gluing it together. That way it looks like there's the sleeve. And if I take off the head, you guys can kind of see that right here, how it was a regular cape before, and then now I just pretty much cut this area over here and then pulled it over here and glued it onto there. That way it makes it like that. And the color, if you guys can barely tell there, is actually a dark gray color that I painted up the sweater or cape in or whatever. But yeah, overall that's it. There's the showcase, there's Cable, and like I said, I'm probably not going to make any other Deadpool figures. I want to move on to other projects as well. But yeah, there's Cable. Was actually pretty difficult to do because of that cape piece and to make sure I got it right, because if I didn't, oh boy, I would have to get another cape. So yeah, there it is, guys. The guy who plays Thanos and Cable. Yeah. Honestly, if they bring in the X-Men into the MCU, I don't know how that's going to work, considering the dude who plays Thanos plays Cable. So that'll be interesting. In fact, why don't we explore that in the skit? So yeah, let's end this.
You should have gone for the head.
Oh, yeah, Wait a minute, who are you and why are you here? Listen, Hemsworth, I did you all a favor. You all were gonna die. In fact, I'll do you a favor. This is for not including me in the final fight. That was for almost destroying half the universe. That was for almost killing Spider-Man. That was for everything else. And this is because just I want to, you little piece of shit.
So yeah, guys, there's the Deadpool 2 showcase. Now, just to reiterate, I might not make Colossus, Domino, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, the kid, Russell, or, yeah, the fat dude, aka Juggernaut. Maybe him, I don't know, he was pretty cool in the movie, but overall, I just wanted to make this showcase about these 2 figures that have been on my shelf for the past 3 months, and I'm sorry for posting this very late. I wanted, like I said in the beginning of the video, I wanted to get it out during May when Infinity War was pretty much done, rolling. The thing is, like I said in the Fortnite video, I said that I just stopped because it was just too much stress for me and I just wanted to take some time off. But the showcases that I was filming and making at that time will finally be revealed in the next couple weeks. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been trying to do my best to post at least one video a week from now on in August. And that's been pretty good. Next week, I might not be able to post a video, or me and Harry, because we're going to be out of state for a couple weeks. Or couple weeks, I mean just 1 week. So maybe we might do a first vlog there. Who knows? And I'll edit that back when I get back from California. But until then, the Ant-Man and the Wasp showcase will still happen. And then after that, Venom. That's going to be pretty interesting, mainly because I don't know how I'm going to make Venom. All I know is that I will make him. And probably Eddie Brock, because, you know, I love Spider-Man characters so much. And then afterwards, I'll just follow that up with the Aquaman showcase later in December. And then the year will wrap up, and I think I'll be done with showcases until next year. We'll have to make figures for Avengers 4. So, yeah, there's that. So, yeah. Expect more videos from this channel, a lot more. I'm definitely ready to get back out there and make more videos. Maybe with Harry, some collabs with him, I don't know. Maybe some collabs with my friends. It'll be pretty good. Overall, I'm pretty excited for the future of this channel and excited for the next showcases that are coming up. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this showcase. And yeah, see you later. I'm going to get back to try to finish up Wasp's wings and then get her for the showcase. And along with Ant-Man. So yeah, later guys.
Oh, she's so damn crazy. That's my baby. That's my baby. So damn